Welcome to Kit Katastrophe. My name is Kit, and today we'll be taking a look at Transformers movie Voyager Class Premium Edition Blackout. This figure came out in 2008 as part of Wave 6 of the Voyager assortment. Two things I want to address before we begin. First is that even after 3 attempts at corrective surgery, I still can't get the cockpit to line up just right. I'll try again on my copy of Revenge of the Fallen Grindor, and I'll show the process when I get around to doing his video. It didn't work quite right on my Blackout, but your mileage may vary. Second, the tail on my copy of the tiny Scorponok figure that was included with Blackout broke, so I'll be using Grindors. I'll talk about play features, but I won't discuss painting or sculpting until Grindor's video. On to the show! Blackout turns into a goddamn sexy Sikorsky MH-53 Pavlo helicopter. I am all about this particular design, with its chunky aesthetic and powerful build. The rotor blades are huge, and he has a nice heft to him. Being Premium Edition, Blackout is sporting a much more movie-accurate Deco layout than his original release, with a lot more weathering effects along the front, the side, and the rear. He has tons of minute tampagraphs all over his body, even having his 4500 X-ray call sign from the movie. One massive problem I have with this vehicle mode is the fact that absolutely nothing wants to lock together. The robot mode legs and the rear cage disengage at the drop of a hat. The middle of the cockpit remains misaligned. It's a mess. Still looks good though. Sometimes I miss the days of massive action features on Transformers toys. Blackout's got 2 of them that he can do all on his own, the first of which is his spinning rotor gimmick. Just press the button on the end of the tail, and his rotor spins with a massive amount of force. This is one of the best done rotor gimmicks I've seen on a figure in my collection. Also, you can spin the rear rotor, but it's not geared or anything. While in flight, Blackout has the ability to release a minion Soundwave style. Just press the button on the back of the rear cage piece, and whammo, you've got yourself a mini Scorponok. Now he's ready to take on some soldiers. Transformation is, in a word, Kino. It starts with the folding back of the rotor blades just like in the movie. Then it gets crazy. The entire helicopter mode explodes apart, moves around a little bit, and then comes back together in a whole new way. It's fiddly, it's messy, but it's so much fun. There's an automorph in the transformation whereby pulling the waist down is supposed to rotate the central third of the cockpit, but on my copy it's such a crapshoot that I'm always unsure of what I'm doing. There's another automorph in the legs whereby pulling on the kneecaps raises these panels on the shins. It's easier to set off, but it accomplishes not much at all. All that's left to do is collapse everything and extend the arms, and you've got the OG movie Decepticon Blackout. For your first movie figure, Blackout looks amazingly screen accurate. The arms, the legs, the torso, the back spire, they all look like they blasted their way out of the silver screen. Then you turn him around, and half the helicopter is hanging off his back. This is really poor, even if the design kind of calls for it. If the 2 action features were cut from the vehicle mode, the robot mode would have been a bit better. On the bright side, the entire back section is removable. This results in a much cleaner robot mode. However, this only makes another problem more apparent. He's too small. Blackout was easily the largest Decepticon in the first movie, and he barely stands taller than the Deluxe. He really deserved better than this, even with the hindsight of Studio Series. Pegging the back kibble onto one of the posts on Blackout's shoulders allows him to sort of emulate his rotor blade attack from his appearance in the movie. This thing is extremely unwieldy, and besides, Blackout used his rear rotor as his weapon. Props for trying, though. You can try to unleash Scorponok in this mode too, but it doesn't work nearly as well. Blackout's humongo feet help him stand really well in robot mode, while the back kibble is long enough to reach the ground and act as a third leg in most poses. He's well articulated, actually, with nice range on all of his joints. Just don't move the shoulders too much or they'll disengage the side panels of his torso. It's not pretty, trust me. Is Blackout a good figure? Hell yes. Is he worth picking up with the Studio Series version now out in stores? Not unless you really want this one. I don't even have the new figure, and I can tell you that movie Blackout is obviously outclassed. Hampered by massive amounts of kibble caused by intrusive gimmicks, movie Blackout is a fun figure that is ultimately only worth the time of those who picked him up when he was new. Or completionists, of course. This has been Kit Katastrophe. I have something rather special planned for my 10th review, so stay tuned. It's time for me to transform and roll out.